Apple, from a company that is about to fall to becoming the world's largest technology company. How can they do it? Let's listen. Apple was born in a time when computers were still a large mainframe, and they were expensive, making it only a large organization that could use them. Ordinary people or small companies don't have a chance to use computers. Until one day, a young man named Steve Jobs saw a personal computer that his friend Steve Wozniak had invented for fun using. A new technology called microchip, which made him shocked because his friend's computer was smaller and cheaper and easy to carry. Steve knew immediately that this was the business opportunity, and people would definitely use computers to make money. He then asked his friend to come and do business with him. At first, his friend didn't believe Steve at all because computers were so hard to buy. Who would buy them? And this computer was made to play and play by himself. But in the end, he held hands with Steve Jobs in a confused way, opened a computer company in a parking lot at home and tried to sell it, which turned out to be a good sale. Steve became a master in the middle of the night. I must say that Steve Jobs, although he will not finish his studies, he can build a computer, he can write a program, but he has a special ability. He is a person. With a talent, he knows that the easier the computer is used, the more people will buy it, so the game to beat the computer market is to make it the easiest to use. So he developed his computer to be very easy to use. Just buy it. It will have a screen and keyboard attached to it. Just plug it in, it will work immediately, which was very popular in that era. But that was not enough. Because if they want to make computers the thing that everyone in the world uses, they need to make it easier to use. Until one day, they had the opportunity to visit the Xerox Technology Development Center and found what is called Graphic User Interface. It is using a computer-controlled mouse with beautiful graphics to drag it around like we use it every day. But at that time, it was just a sample looking like a piece of paper. Xerox has not seen any value in it at all, even a little. Contrary to Steve Jobs, who saw it and knew that this is what will change the world forever. Because it will make ordinary people, without knowing anything, can easily use computers. Anyone with this technology in their hands will be able to beat the computer market of the world at once. At that moment, Steve Jobs did not wait to rush back to the company and set up a secret project to develop graphics and mouse by preventing anyone from knowing about this project because they want Apple to be the first to be able to control this technology. Steve Jobs has gathered a number of advanced equipment to build it and has invited 5 more companies that he trusts to be partners in writing the program. Everyone will keep it a top secret until the day Steve Jobs waits for it to come. Today, he will open the most high-tech computer that uses a mouse to control, which the whole world will be shocked for sure. But if he dreams that he drew it, it will be destroyed. Because just a few days before Steve Jobs opened the product, there was a company that opened the same innovation as Steve thought. And that company is called Microsoft. Steve Jobs immediately knew that he was backed up. Microsoft is one of the 5 companies that they've invited to be partners in the research and development of graphics and mouse programs. But Microsoft copied everything and sold it to computer companies around the world to cut their faces. It made all companies have graphics and mouse like Apple has, and it's even cheaper. Steve tried to tell the way to fix everything, but the board of directors and CEOs returned with no one to agree with him. Apple's stock fell sharply. The company was in a slump. Cam Street was also kicked out of the company it founded, Windows and Microsoft. Microsoft took over the computer industry and became the most valuable company in the world. And no matter how many times Apple changes its CEO, changes the marketing plan, organizes advertising promotion activities, and gives a lot of freebies, there is no way to help Apple recover its reputation. In the end, the board of directors needs to swallow their own saliva when they understood in hindsight that there was no one in the world who would understand Apple's DNA, as well as Steve Jobs. Apple finally decided to let Steve Jobs take the CEO position, and that was the right decision. Because as soon as Steve came back to the position, he knew how to build this company. Steve took the unnecessary position, focused on developing a computer with more efficiency than Windows, focusing on the marketing of special works such as editors, graphic designers, or songwriters. Apple sold well in the first place because its profit from Apple's equipment was much higher than Windows. Steve Jobs took a short time to bring the company back to profit again. After that, Apple came up with many other innovative technologies, whether it's MacBook, iPod, iPad, iPhone, and many more. Apple has become the most valuable company in the world and finally beat Microsoft.